Hey, hi, good evening, good Friday evening to you, and good Friday to you. How is everyone? It is good to see you all. Thank you for stopping by. Seeing the music's too low. Well, I'll have to work on it then. I will just have to work on it. Maybe some settings in my virtual microphone setup. I'll get it sorted out. Don't worry. Hey, Michael Connor, good to see you. Anyway, we had a great show last night. If you were not here for last night's live stream, you need to check it out. You need to sneak over and check it out. Maybe watch it a little bit tomorrow because it was damn good. Yes, it was. It was damn good. We had Seth and Brainy on, and we talked about the history of classic RPG gaming in good old West Berlin during the height of the Cold War. And I got to say, I was blown away by the fact that there was a game-specific game store for almost every game. There was a BattleTech store. There was a D&D store. There was a Warhammer store. There are Warhammer stores now. Don't get me wrong. I know that. But I don't know if that's directed at me, Michael Connor. But anyway, yeah, there was a lot of good discussion there, and he's definitely a guy we're going to ask back for sure. I'm looking forward to that. Let me see here. I want to get over here. And for our Gamma World participants, no, I haven't forgotten you fine folks. I have not. I'm about to send you all the studio invite because that's right. Friday night is Gamma World night. And at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be rejoining the Seekers, the mutants, the weirdos. We're going to find out what all is going on in Gamma World. Greetings, Dungeon Minister. But anyway, I just wanted to get over there. Erica over on Facebook says, sounds like I missed a good one. Now something to do on my drive tomorrow. Well, there you go. Yes, the convention is coming. And I want to point out a few things about the con. I was getting there. But let me see. First of all, we do have a Discord for it. And just as quick as I get this done here. Hop in over here. Okay, so we now have set up on Band. We've got a little Scratch Game Master sign up sheet set up over on Band, and I'll share the link with that here in a minute. But there is a format, if you guys will follow, and that is game name, module, chapter, campaign, whatever. The name of you who are running it. And you don't have to dox yourself, you know. I mean, if people know you by the Dungeon Minister, you can say it's the Dungeon Minister. What you tell your players when you get in session is entirely up to you. Max number of players you're after. I mean, obviously, I'm a guy, I'll run a game if there's one person that wants to play. I'll figure out how to do. I'll either give them multiple characters or I'll trim it down so it works with one person. Sometimes that can be a little awkward. Sometimes it can work out just fine. But it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to have a minimum and what to do if you don't. So a minimum number and a maximum number of players, because I get it. A lot of you guys, you know, you hear me talk about, I've got 12 people at a table. I've got 13 people at a table. I've DM'd 24 people at a con before. I get it. You don't want to do that. That's chaos to you. All right. You hear about that and you're like, oh my God, how I don't. So you can put a minimum. All right. And if you're a person, you're prospectively looking at getting into a game and the DM has put in a minimum and you don't get there in time, I'm sorry. You'll have to negotiate it with them. Now, the most important thing is the day and the time you start. Now, we're boxing out 4-hour blocks is how we're going to do it. We're going to start Thursday night. That's right. The guac is going to last long. I'm not running my games till deeper into the weekend, but we'll open up, say, at 8 o'clock on Thursday night. So there's a 4-hour slot on Thursday night if you want to set up a game and run it there. But we're trying to keep it in 4-hour blocks. Now, if your game goes over 4 hours, if everybody's like, oh, we want to keep playing, 4 hours isn't nearly enough, then that's fine. But I will ask you to do this. Please be courteous to DMs that you've signed up for and other game masters. Is your game noob friendly or is there experience required? What is your level of experience? If you're going to do what I've talked about doing, which is hand out 6th or 7th level characters, everybody gets one, and you're going to run Tomb of Horrors, that probably asks for a very experienced player, and you should say so. Because the person who's like, oh, let's just walk on this mosaic on the floor, and they fall into that 50-foot deep spiked pit with poison spikes at the bottom, you know, they're out like that. So, you know, put in your experience, and anything else you think is going to be important. Okay. Anything else you think is going to be important. Now, I'm gonna mention this one time. Tonight's live stream, tonight's broadcast is it. It won't ever come up again. It won't get posted again. If other people talk about it, that's their business. If you don't understand what I'm saying and you ask me aside later, that's fine too. But I'm going to tell you, within the bounds of reasonable behavior, what you game masters and players do at your tables is your own business. Okay? That's it. That should be all I have to say on that subject. So, you know, that's it. Again, that's up to you and your players to negotiate. There is no guac-wide policy for content warning on any games. I mean, look at the game, all right? You know, if the game is, you will take part as one of the combat butchers murdering your way across Northern Europe in a true-to-life Viking blood feast, or Viking blood feast, I don't care. And somebody sits down and they expect Blue Rose. That's not my problem. That's a you problem. That's not a Bill problem. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. And we're going to move on. Now, we have a Discord, because what you're going to do is you're going to sign up on all the grid. You know, you're going to put your games in. And then when all the games are in, for those of you who are like, I don't want to run anything. I just want to sign up for a game or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. When we start filling up the game grid, when we start getting people entering their games, then a grid will go up and you can start signing up for stuff. But be aware, if there's a game you really want to get in on Saturday evening, and then there's another game you really want to get in on Saturday evening, well, you gotta you gotta flip the coin. You gotta roll the D6 or the D percentile if you want a more granular outcome. So, don't come to me and ask me to move Boganora's Warhammer game so you can be in it, because I'm not going to go to him and I'm not going to say, could you really move your game? No, I'm not going to do that. It's just like at any other con. The Glory Hole Dwarven Mine is actually a real module. It was at WinterCon one year. It was We Warriors that put that module out for a very early WinterCon. But anyway, I hope you all come out. And if you haven't seen, because I hit everybody up on the Discord, but I know some of you guys might not be on a regular Discord. Let me see if I can do this. Here we go. So if you're not following us on Discord in general, but you want to get into the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention server, there's the invite. Come on over. Now, we have voice channels set up. I have 8 event rooms. I can make as many of those as I need. So you guys can go voice and video if you want in your rooms. All right. I will be adding a dice rolling bot. Here's the thing. The best dice rolling bot that there is for Discord, in my opinion, is called Familiar. And my good buddy, Jeremy Rule, and another buddy of mine, Ray Kruger, wrote it in Python. And it's losing its hosting tonight at midnight, and then it'll get rehosted in a week or so. But I will be adding that. Now, if something comes up and I can't, I'll get Dice Maiden or something, and I'll stick it on there. So you'll be able to just do whatever you want with that. So that's the news about Guac. But please, 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 as I said, do follow the format, module name or adventure name or campaign or whatever, your name or what your players are going to know you as from around the web. Day and time of start, keeping in mind 4-hour blocks with a start. One block is on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. That's something else. When I talk about times, and when times are posted up about games, unless there's something, and Boganora can probably tell me in band that will adjust for your regional time, all the times I refer to are Eastern Standard. So if you're, on the West Coast and I say a game is starting at 4 in the afternoon, it's starting at 1 in the afternoon where you are and ending at 5. You see. Number of players, minimum, maximum. Now, I would encourage you, again, if you don't hit the minimum, at least do something. If you've got 2 people that signed up, play some OD&D. You can do it. Okay, thank you, IR. So band will display the proper time. You won't miss anything. please, 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 please let the players know, let us know to let the players know what level of experience they need. Is it noob friendly? Or is it level 25 grognards only? Or something somewhere in between? You've got to let us know that. And anything else you can think of that's important. Don't just say, I want to run Star Frontiers on Sunday. That doesn't help me. It doesn't help anyone. So do that and let us know. But anyway, so that's it. That's the latest news about the GUOC. Next week, starting on Monday, we are going to go back to the G modules, G3, the Hammer of the Gods. G3 is the mysterious oddities, the small number of mysterious oddities in G1 and G1's toughness that absolutely remorseless, spine-shattering difficulty of G2 combined in a 3. Do people talk about the mega dungeon? The mega dungeon. I want to play in a mega dungeon. Just a little teaser for Monday's talk about G3. It's all the mega dungeon you're ever going to want. 3 levels of absolute hell. But we'll talk about that. Is this the new studio PC? I do have the HP workstation rolling right now. I do. Now, clock for clock, it's actually slower than the Dell that it replaced. But here's the thing. It's a Xeon processor, which means it has a lot of threads, a lot of potential virtual cores compared to the kind of pedestrian CPU that is in the Dell. 4 cores, 4 threads. This is like 8 cores, 12 threads. It might be 4 cores, 12 threads. I'm not sure, but the point is, more power. So that's a very nice piece of kit, and we thank our benefactor for it. So yeah, that's coming up on Monday. Then Tuesday. I don't know if we'll dive into D1 on Tuesday. Probably not, because again, we've got AD&D on Tuesday. Wednesday, Kyle is still out. My co-host still isn't here. Breaks my damn heart. So Wednesday, we go into D1, which is a challenge for the dungeon master. It is really your graduate course in how good of a DM are you. I can take somebody who's got a passing familiarity as a player for a few months, so it's maybe 2-3 dozen sessions of AD&D. If they feel like they've got the itch to run a game, and give them like White Plume Mountain or something like that, and they can run it. D1 is a different beast you're going to see. And the thing about it is it's not some big, thick Montana mule choker either. You're not provided with a lot in D1, which is what makes it great. D2, totally different beast, equally difficult, fiendishly difficult. D3, Forget about it. D3 is the gold standard, in my opinion, for I've got a City of the Drow. What do we do? But we'll all get to that at the appropriate time, but it starts next week. Now, next Thursday, we get a guest on. Kyle wanted to stop by, and no, I'm sorry. Brain fart. Kyle will not be here next week. Ricky Maru wanted to stop by and talk about Morkborg. So he's going to be here, and we're going to let him talk about that. See if that scratches anybody's fantasy gaming itch. I am told it is a pretty good game. So we'll see. We'll see. And then, of course, Friday, we'll be right back. And then we'll talk about whatever. And then we'll play some Gamma World. And then we'll just keep doing it. Now, on convention week, as I said, I am at the very least, and that's a while, that's a ways away, right? That's like 5 weeks away. I will be running stuff probably Friday and Saturday, maybe even Sunday. So we may not do live streams on Friday. I may live stream something during the week if the players are feeling it. But it will be a slight dip in the regular broadcast schedule. But that's a way down the road. That is a little bit off. We have plenty of time to talk about that between now and then. Now, I do want to take a moment. I do want to point out a couple of cool things. I don't have anything nailed down yet. I can't say, well, I've reached out to these people and they're going to be guests on the show. I've reached out to these people, some other cool guests. But I don't know. They might take a look at this. Yeah, it's not my jam, man. It's not my bag. No, thank you. And that's fine. That's just fine. I understand. This isn't everybody's cup of tea. I would not expect somebody whose thing is, I don't know, paperclip sculpting. Don't care for role-playing games or anything like that. To be like, okay, yeah, I'll be on your show. So I don't say, well, I'm going to ask John Smith, World Championship Paperclip Sculptor, to be on the show, and he'll be here in a few weeks. Not going to do that. But I'm hopeful. I've reached out to some folks that I think you'll enjoy seeing what they're doing and hearing what they've got to say. So, yes, more guests coming up as time goes on. Will it be every week? Well, probably not. But you know how it is. And what else? What else do I have going on? I think that's about it. Yep. I think that's about it. So lots of good stuff's coming up. We got the guac is finally rolling. Big thanks to Bo Ganora. He's really the guy who's like working the big levers, pushing the big pedals, turning the steam valves, keeping this whole thing moving forward on the rails like it should. So we salute you, sir. And for all his work, he gets a gold badge at the con for free. That's right. For absolutely free. He gets a gold play and game master. But I'm not doing badges and I'm not charging anyone. But if I was, he would do it for free. He would get in for free. He would get in for free. Yes, Descent into the Depths of the Earth is D1. Descent into the Depths of the Earth. So speaking of descent, speaking of going down into the dark deepness. This is a thing. What is it the kids today say? I was today years old when I found out. Well, I was today years old when I found out that D&D Beyond, a big virtual tabletop thing, has been bought by Hasbro. Now, I did not know. I saw all the big folderol about D&D Beyond. I thought that was a Wizards of the Coast thing. I didn't even realize it was a separate. Michael Connor, yeah, no asking the nice guest, unless you super chat it to me for a lot of money. But anyway, I thought D&D Beyond was a Wizards of the Coast effort, was a Wizards of the Coast VTT effort. How dumb of me, right? We all know Wizards of the Coast couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery when it comes to virtual tabletops. But they have bought it, lock, stock, and barrel. I don't know if they're going to move it out of Birmingham, Alabama, and make them move up to Seattle. Probably they'll probably drag those people kicking and screaming out of red state to the deep, deep blue of Washington state. But that's a thing that happened. And who was it? I'm going to pick on Vinny Notarbartolo because he was the one who messaged me about this. He opined that because Wizards of the Coast has all the classic role-playing games from TSR's heyday, would they start adding support for this into D&D Beyond? And I absolutely don't think they will. I mean, when WotC acquired TSR, they didn't jump out and start supporting AD&D and Dragon Magazine again. All right. It gets paid a little, and I don't even think it gets paid anymore. I think they hate the fact that D&D came from a real genius. The AD&Ds, like, you know, when people talk about the great times of AD, you know, they talk about Tomb of Horrors, White Plume Mountain, Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, Lost Caverns of Sojkanth, Against the Giants, Descent into the Depths, Queen of the Demon Wet Pits, Village of Hamlet, Temple of Elemental Evil, and even Ravenloft, Dragonlance, and Forgotten Realms, and all that folderol. But that's all AD&D stuff. That's all AD&D stuff. I know a lot of players who've had a lot of fun with things in later editions of D&D. That's not where I'm going with this. But what I am going to say is I don't see, and I haven't seen, landmark adventures come out of their studios, as it were. That's what I'm trying to say. Their studios. So sorry, had to send a message there. Let's see. Good novels, bad modules. I never read a Dragonlance module. Novel. I don't know. I know there was a flight sim. There was a Dragon flight sim that was available for a lot of platforms that was set in Dragonlance. It's your new VP of Digital, whatever WotC hired. Okay. I mean, All that may be. But anyway, the point that I was saying, when they acquired all this, they didn't open AD&D back up. They didn't start supporting AD&D in any fashion at all, any real non-lip service fashion. Publishing, or scanning the PDFs, that took a little bit of effort. Having to rescan them after taking them off the market back in 2000s, whenever it was 2007, and the PDFs were not available for sale anymore. That took a little bit of effort, but not creative effort. That's just, here's the module that we found from Goodwill, retypeset it, and we'll sell the PDFs of it. So I would not think, rather, that WotC will come around and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we support 1E and this. They don't want you to play classic D&D. And that's just how it is. Praxis says, nobody at D&D Beyond or WotC can read Gygaxian, so they can translate AD&D to hashtag generation. Well, I'm not going to pick on the people who are out there, because I've said before, guys, the folks out there who have tried AD&D and even OD&D, I've never had anyone come back and say, yeah, I changed my mind. I hate this. And I wish I wasn't at this table. I don't have that problem. Nobody has ever come back and said, this is awful and I don't want to be part of it. So when I decry Wizards of the Coast, I'm really just, I'm talking about Wizards of the Coast. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the people who enjoy it and play it. Rather than say to them, to you, hey, you don't play the right edition, I don't want you at the table. I'm like, let me show you an edition that's better and more fun, I think it is. And it works. Mobius, haven't played enough weirdos on Roll20. Yeah. Now, with regard to Dragonlance, somebody, Michael Connor, brought this up. It's a very unbreaded comment. See, here's the thing. Dragonlance probably is a pretty good pulp fantasy series, or even a high fantasy series. We can have pulp high fantasy, but anyway. But does that necessarily mean it's going to make good adventuring? And a lot of my fellow neckbeards come back and they say, well, Dragonlance was the worst thing that ever happened to D&D. Well, I mean, do you mean the books or do you mean the adventure models? Yes. Really? I mean, because I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. I can dislike Dragonlance as a series of books, but acknowledge how incredibly successful it was and feel the same way about the modules for that matter. But I think maybe one day I'll undertake to read those. I mean, there's like 27 of them. I need to get on it if I'm going to do it. But I mean, the modules, yeah, no, the modules are railroads because they were lifted from the novels. You got to do this. You got to play this guy. He's got to live. He can't die. It's like, why am I playing this then? And the thing of it is, we're coming up on, oh my gosh, the 7th anniversary of the passing of my dear friend Eric. I will share some Eric stories with you at the appropriate time. But his DM in Utah back in the day was Tracy Hickman. And when Eric and I would talk about it, he said, yeah, no, Tracy was very, like very hardcore. Like, your character dies, you are done, you are finished. You don't get a saving throw, you know? I mean, he ran like Tomb of Horrors kind of stuff. Like, no, you slid into the pit, there's flames in the bottom, you die. And if it's a TPK, if you all fall in a flaming pit, that's it, you're done. No magical, oh, but the characters must survive. So to him, it was always kind of a head scratcher about the modules. That is, to my buddy Eric, it was always a bit of a head scratcher about the modules. Greetings, Quick Save. Good to see you. But yeah, one evening in May, you know, maybe a Wednesday or something like that, I'll rip the top off a cold one and tell you guys some Eric stories, and I'll try not to get weepy. But yeah, so that's kind of the order of business. Now tonight, of course, we're going to have our group come in, and it's in less than half an hour. So we'll be playing some first edition you know, some first edition Gamma World. Sorry, I'm getting. I got like a message about the game tonight, which I answered, but then I had a couple of ancillary things, people asking me stuff. So I want to try and be there and answer everyone's questions. But when people think of the classic event, it's like, yeah. So let me ask you guys something. We've had some interesting folks on the show in the past. I think probably one of the more interesting, in the sense of maybe not being exactly 100% precisely contributed to the betterment of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, was of course Bob Antone, and I loved having Bob on the show. Make no mistake about it, that was a great show, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I would love it if we could get it back someday. But what about authors and artists and stuff like that? What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. You think I'm on the webcam mic? I don't think I'm on the webcam mic. I think I'm on the Blue Snowball mic. I'll check my audio, though. Is that better? Can you guys hear me now? How about now? Do I think Tim Kask would come on? If I cranked up the audibility a bit, maybe this is a little better. I don't know if Tim Kask would come on. I don't know what. I mean, I don't know what Tim would want to talk about, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe he'd come on. I should try and get Ty back on. Yeah, no, Ty. I'll get Ty back on. Yeah, I mean, he was just super busy for a long time. Ty's one of those people I'll have on like that. And I mean, Ty fits the bill in so many great ways, right? Because he loves AD&D. He designed a war game, and he's got plenty of gaming stories. He's not just a pretty face who guests on Nick Rekida's live stream sometimes. I love it when Ty talks. I think Ty likes it when Ty talks geek. When he can come on here and talk about storm bolters and magic spells and tank ammunition, and I'm not, and I have in the past, but I'm not in general, like, you know. But Ty, what if the ghost of Gary Gygax sues the ghost of Dave Arneson in a court of law? You know, I'm not like hitting him with that all the time. I feel like he can let his hair down insofar as it does, you know, and we can have a pretty good time. Yeah, we'll always have Ty on the show. Get Ishii on? Well, let me tell you something, Michael Connor. I have invited them on. I have emailed them. I have said directly to them in live stream comments, hey, would you like to come on the show? And it's just, so I don't know what to tell you. They're wonderful people. I had some great communication with them and a lot of fun being on their live stream, but I guess they've got other stuff going on right now. And that's fine, you know? That's fine. The cat has the advantage of having boobs. But no, I was on the Ishii show a couple of times, and you know, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I extended the offer the other way, and like I said, I guess I got other stuff happening. Pretty face, is that in reference to my comment about Ty being having a pretty face? Jack's always in chat. Could be. You know, oh, I meant to mention this before. Jack sent me some more Star Trek awesomeness. Jack, I got it. It's amazing. And I think we're going to have a mail call about that real soon. I'm just backed up and I haven't been able to come back. So guys, Jack did more Star Trek awesomeness I'm going to share with you fine people. So that's a thing that's going to happen. I've been, I know I haven't talked to you guys about 3D printing in a while, but I have actually got the resin printer like really dialed in. Let me knock on wood. It's probably just slinging resin all over the inside of the tank. Now that I've said that, right? But I'm working on a piece that I will share with you guys when it gets a little more complete. And that's like after tonight. That's not like weeks from now. I'm on in the middle of the... No, I'm not. This is not the middle of the day. No, I know they're out on the West Coast. It's anyway. I tell you what, I'm not much of a weeb. All right. I think when it comes to anime, my animes, my Chinese robots that turn into bling wads, to quote Krusty the Clown. We've got let's see. Macross Plus, Bubblegum Crisis and Crash, 80 Police. I absolutely just unabashedly love, with a capital L, I love me some Castle Cagliostro. I love it. Nazca's okay. Not my favorite, but I do enjoy it. But I tell you, the one that started it all for me is Akira. I love the manga and the anime. When I got my first printer a little over a year ago, I know, Michael, it was a joke, buddy. It's okay. I'm remaining unbreaded, my friend. That was not a breaded comment on my part. But when I got my filament printer and I went scouring the web, I found this absolutely phenomenal piece, and it is basically a 3D print of the movie poster, the most popular movie poster for Akira in Japan, that is. And it is the character Kaneda walking towards his motorcycle. It's sitting there on the pavement. We can see it. He's kind of going perpendicular to it, and it's just got the film title right behind. Ghost in the Shell, of course. Oh, and Pat Labor the movie, and Pat Labor the movie 2. Amazing pieces of work. Basically, Nomura Oshii stuff I dig. But anyway, to get back to this 3D model that I found, it's just gorgeous, right? But the more I found it, I downloaded it, but the more that I print with my filament printer, the more I realize that unless you're talking about a really large scale, the bumps and the ridges is you can only have a nozzle that's so thin. You can get like a 0.02 or 0.0 something. The things just kind of end up being bumpy. And so I sat on that model for the longest time, and I didn't do anything with it. I got the resin printer. And so I've been running the pieces of the model through the resin printer, and they have been coming out beautifully. And the pieces I have on are the remainder of the detail pieces. Basically, it's the character that I said. He's got his motorcycle jacket on. He's walking towards his it's like a hybrid gas electric motorcycle. Google Akira motorcycle and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's absolutely amazing piece of hardware. And I'm printing the feet and the hands for the figure. They're on the printer right now. When I get it done, I'll show it to you guys. It's like Star Wars action figure sized. But I'll also be doing a little bit of printing with that because the piece of highway that the motorcycle is sitting on and the logo are all too big to print in resin. I could section them up and print them in resin, but then I'd have to make sure they're perfectly aligned and then glue them together and then fill and sand and everything else. So the base will be printed there, but the motorcycle and the character that I'm talking about, I'm printing with a resin, and it's coming out so nicely. And I can't wait to share that with you guys when that's done. It's been, I talked smack about resin printers years ago, and it's not the cleanest thing in the world. I've created a small garbage bag full of nitrile gloves because you have to, you know, you can't get resin on your hands. It'll irritate your skin. And blue paper towels and paper masks to wear so I don't suck in fumes while I'm doing it. Resin for minis, FDM for terrain. You're absolutely right, Imperial Rambler. I've done up some Terminator Marines for Space Hulk. Why? Because I can. Why? Because 10 of them have cost me less than $5 versus 10 of them from Games Workshop costing me $100. Just because I can. G-Force. You know, I misspoke. I said Akira was the first anime that I watched. It's not. The first anime I ever watched was Speed Racer back in the day. The second anime I ever watched was G-Force Battle of the Planets. So Akira was probably the third. But yeah, no, I'm just thrilled as all get out to do that. And there's a couple of other models out there. Now there's people who make 3D models. You know, they'll see something in a book or in a comic or a film or on TV, or maybe they even see an item like it at the store, and they will come in and sit down with a CAD program and draw up the entire thing, like 3D sculpt the whole thing. And there are some pieces out there like that that I'm like, oh, so beautiful. But they also charge for them. Their work is worth it to me. There's a Ghost in the Shell piece. Major Kusanagi, and she is sitting on her little 6-legged robot tank, the Fuchikoma. And the guy wants $20 for the 3D model. Well, guess what? I have no problem paying for that. Good 3D work is worth paying for. I got my, I think I've shown this off on the show before, my high survivability test vehicle light tank, aka the Lab 75 from I almost said Warhammer, the Lab 75 from Twilight 2000. The guy wanted only, it was like $5.99, $6.99 for the kit. I can print out as many as I want. That's an absolutely reasonable arrangement. I'm gonna do something nice for Ty. Ty likes Star Blazers, doesn't he? Maybe I'll 3D print a little Star Blazer ship and send that to him. But I'll send it to his office, so he has to open it in front of his employees. Oh, what'd you get, Ty? Japanese spaceship. What's that, Ty? Japanese spaceship. But anyway, so that's what's going on the 3D front, 3D printing front. Oh, Dungeon Minister, you sly fox. Ghost in the Shell was the only one I ever saw. I was dating an anime girl at the time. She tried to get me interested in it. I wasn't, but I was sufficiently interested in her to watch it. Oh, that's not terribly late. We're still talking about that sort of stuff. So yeah, got the 3D printer dialed in. Real happy about that. Been knocking out some ever bigger pieces, and this multi-piece Kaneda from Akira is, when it's done, it will be the largest piece, but it won't be like I'm not just like, let me just assemble all this in 3D Builder and snap it together and then tell the printer to print it, because I just think that would end in tears. But anyway, we are just a few minutes away. I see folks lining up in the green room. I see you over there, everyone. Hello. Folks are lining up in the green room, getting ready to play some Gamma World. Speaking of science fiction. So to that end, allow me to take some of the time we have left and thank our show backers. And by the way, Patreon and Subscribestar. If you want to support the show, you can drop a little donation in there. And the nice thing about Subscribestar is you can just tip me if you want. If you don't want to come in and you don't want to do a super chat on YouTube, you can just go over to Subscribestar and just drop a tip in there. Patreon doesn't do that, as far as I know. But anyway, let me thank the appropriate folks here personally. Digital Discord, Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck. Love your observatory. You guys do great astrology work out there. William Smith, Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer. Rob, can't say that, we'll get demonetized, Ulysses. Jeremy Rule, Boganora, and the latest member of our family, Mikey Make. So we thank all those people for helping keep the lights on around here. Literally. You guys were here for last night's show. I grabbed the wrong battery, one that wasn't properly charged. Well, I think it was properly charged. It just doesn't have much of a charge anymore. But I grabbed it and I plugged the lights into it. I was like, cool, it works. And 90 minutes into like a 2-hour and 20-minute show, they just I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, that sounds real fascinating. Gaming in Berlin, do go on. Click. I'm suddenly thrust into darkness. So I had to run around and grab the good power bank to plug the lights into. And that was fun. Oh, comments piling up. Record of Lodos War. Yes, we've talked about Lodos War here before. The anime, I'm just going to say this. Animated Gits is completely different. It is a totally different experience. To me, the differences are as stark as the difference between Die Hard and Blade Runner. I really think the manga has violence and action and skullduggery, and there was some violence in the Gits cartoon, but it was still, well, I mean, it's Mamoru Oshii. If you know Oshii's work, you know how stately it moves along. It's not as hyperkinetic, and it's not as nearly as greedily oriented as I almost said Otomo. Why am I going blank here? I have a bunch of the man's art books on my shelves. The manga artists and the creator of the cartoon, the creator of the manga, his stuff is almost has like a Bernie Wrightson like level of tiny details in it. I've not seen Aura Battle or Dunbean. Sorry, I have not. Thank you, Shiro Masamune. Thank you. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Damien. Shiro Masamune. So I did like literally in the introduction to Intron Depot 1, which is his art book. The book, it's imported from Japan, but he says right in the introduction, English is much easier to read. It's easier on the eye. It makes sense. Japanese layouts don't make sense. So this book is laid out in English in a Western style. Left to right, and you just follow the panels like that. I was like, I think I'm going to enjoy this guy's work. But it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. So we are at that golden hour when we must shrug off our daily concerns about viewers and about clicks and about all this, that, and the other. And we must return to the parched, shattered plains of a devastated earth, a world that has been reshaped by violence, by the unimaginable futuristic weapons of the 23rd century. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for Gamma World. So let us welcome in our participants. James, Mobius, Yang, how are you this evening, gentlemen?
Hello.
Good.
Hello, hello, hello. And worry about mutant plants and radiation. That's right. Let's unleash some mutant plants and radiation. So, when last we left the adventurers, the decision had been made to uproot the folk of Outpost 76 and help them move to the relatively safer locales of the forgotten military base of the ancients, which is located much, much closer to Goodwater. And the party was debating how to go about getting 100-some people across this parched and blasted landscape. Gentlemen, welcome. What's the plan?
I think when we left off, we were going to try to get the car. The car that Bubbles wrecked.
Oh, right.
And from what I remember watching the last week's feed afterwards, Gerg was staying back in the silo playing around in the armored suit.
I was kidding about, Gerd sitting up inside the helmet driving it like a Gundam, given his small stature, but Gerg can certainly Gerg could certainly have been there but been strangely silent, maybe hid out in the trunk of the car, not wanting to be abandoned. But I'll leave it up to you players to decide.
No, that works for me.
Sure.
Alrighty, so let me see here.
We forgot him in the trunk and we never heard his gurgs.
Yeah.
Man, I hope
you finally,
after
days of rolling 7s and 8s, you finally roll a string of 1s, 2s, and 3s to pop the lock from inside the trunk.
Glad we didn't tie him to the bumper.
All right, let me give me a moment here while you guys talk amongst yourselves.
How many trips you figure we got to do?
How many people were there?
100, I think.
I think it was at least 3. But that's without the extra car, if we get this car working.
But then the outpost is going to be like unmanned and like mutants are going to encroach.
We
Or
can booby trap it.
humans might encroach.
I mean, bad mutants, not Gurg mutants. Present company excluded, of course.
Oh, but will it even matter? We'll be in our new base
With
protecting the new settlement.
yeah, with no buffer between us and the bad mutants. Sorry.
Maybe
I know it
we
was
can-
my idea to move him there to begin with, but the more I think about it, it's just like it's a horrible idea.
Maybe we
Well,
could do
that's-
contingent there, just some warriors to live there.
RPGs are all about horrible ideas.
True.
And
So
he's not
true.
wrong.
We could make this like military duty. When you're 18, you have to do a year tour at Outpost 76.
Sounds good.
Before then, it's Road Warrior time.
So,
Because at least all of them didn't want to come.
well, there were some people who, I mean, not everyone that didn't want to come is a warrior. And, you got village elders, you got children, that sort of thing. But I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. I don't want to grab y'all and steer or anything,
No, we're already we're on this course, are we not, fellas?
Gotta stick it through.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to roll up any of my advancement or anything. I wasn't here for that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, we can do that. For those of you who may have missed it, everyone got an advancement, which is different from how it's handled in D&D. An advancement in Gem World is a matter of self-improvement through different parts of the character. Do they gain an attack bonus? What? It will depend. It will vary. So let's get over to the advancement table and see, where is that hiding at? All right, here we go. So you have advanced. You got your 3,000 experience points. Roll a d10.
Okay. 2.
+1 to Constitution.
Sweet.
What does that raise your Constitution to?
Takes me up to a 16.
All right, let's see here. All right. So that that won't affect your overall hit points. Actually, no, that will. So roll a d6 to see how many hit points you get.
2. I'm rolling 2.
All right. And that will also change your resistance to poisons, radiation, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Gurg
Sorry.
toughened up. That's okay. Gurg toughened up. While you were in the trunk, the trunk is a big room to you. So, you made a little sweatband for yourself and had a montage, workout montage in there. And all right. So is that your plan then, adventurers? Are you going to suggest that Outpost 76 be turned back into more of a fortress as it was in days past, and you take it. Still have to be supplied overland. Is that your plan?
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
All right. So who is proposing this to Steve? He's still the de facto leader of the people, you know.
I thought we did that last time, and he was the one that talked the rest of the village into going.
Well, yes, but are you going to discuss with him the idea of a force remaining behind to guard this section of the highway that leads in from the Western Badlands? Because he had agreed to the idea of just picking up the village in toto and moving it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, and then there was the ones that decided they weren't going to go, and I assumed that we were going to be taking like I don't know, like Steve and the elderly, like you said, like, and that some of the like able-bodied people would stay behind.
Okay. All right.
I figure like the rest can garden and grow and keep the community going, right? That's what everybody's after is the food anyways. The shipments would be less going out to the village because there'd be less people there. I don't know.
Okay. Well, regardless, he is receptive to this idea. If there are families with children that want to travel to, what if you guys decided to name your new fortress there, your new Durance?
The discussion even come up.
No.
Yeah, because people want to know what's it called. This place of the ancients.
What do you think, guys? Better water?
Even better water.
How about Deep Home? You know, 'cause it's like a hole in the ground, deep.
Hole in the rock.
Yeah.
Sounds catchy. No one would bother attacking Deep Hole.
I said Deep Home, as in like.
Oh, home. Oh,
yeah, Deep Home.
Well, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
it's
put it to
it's
the
a
vote.
working title, Steve.
Okay, so Deep Home in the Rock working title is seems to be agreeable to people. So
Greenland.
there are. Did you say England?
It's the big fake out.
Oh, right. All right. So you think now, with about a third of the people remaining behind, mostly the young couples without any children, who've just put down roots there, it's still going to be a couple of trips to get everybody who wants to go to place without a name. But you can do it. It'll just take a while, and it will be slow going. It will be because you're going to be pulling Steve's car, even with the other car. If you guys are going to the the other building, as I'm guessing you are, right?
Well, we'll bring them to the town proper itself. I don't think we're bringing them to the.
I think he's asking if we're going to go get the other car first and bring it back.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry,
I mean, yeah. Regardless of how you're,
I misheard.
that's okay.
Yep, let's go get her.
Alrighty.
Need a tow rope or something, piece of chain.
Yeah, there's ample stuff like that around. All right, so in your car, I mean, it was almost a day's hike to get to that building of the ancients. In your vehicle of the ancients, it is really only a couple of hours, and that's because you have to drive around things. So occasionally.
I'll see that Blash or whatever it was. No mutant moths.
No mutant moths. There's a Zeeth. You're not sure if it's the same one, just kind of humming to itself, sort of flies overhead. It's glorious. It's beautiful. It's scintillating, multicolored wings and body as it glides past, riding the thermals.
Oh, I wish we had some clothes for it.
Oh, I mean, technically you do, but
He's not getting mine.
okay. I say that comes down to a degree of personal modesty, I would think.
They're nice and all, but
Right. All right, so nothing else accosts you as you are pulling up to the building. It's been a few weeks, but it looks much the same. And down the incline, at the edge of the large, flat, grassy place, you see the vehicle that poor Bubbles wrecked.
okay.
Still sitting somewhat against the tree.
Keep my eye out for any piece of vegetation that moves. The slightest piece of grass gets blown by the wind, it's getting blasted. Go down to the other vehicle that should still be smashed up against a tree. I'll look for a spot to attach the rope or chain or whatever I got. Maybe we could just cut down the tree and just drive away.
Is it on top of the tree or?
Oh,
or
no,
is
no,
it
no.
just
It
rusted
just,
against it?
We went down an
smacked
embankment and
into it.
smashed into the tree at the bottom.
Can we
that's
drive it
right.
out of the embankment, or do we need to pull it out?
I mean, you could drag it from that point back up to the main road of the ancients. It would just be kind of you'd have to go over rough terrain to do it. Might take you a kilometer or two out of your way, since there's no path from the foot of the embankment that goes immediately back to the road. You'd have to go maybe a kilometer south to pull around and get back to the same general latitude of the building and then head back.
Well,
We gotta do.
If you want to try to pull it out first or whatever, whichever way you guys want to go.
Yep. Give her
All
time.
right. Let's get her out of here.
And as you are doing this, stepping out of the building, you see a lone Orlin.
I don't think I've ever seen an Orlin.
He regards you warily. Now, an Orlin,
As do I. You see movements.
is a two-headed, 2.5 meter tall humanoid with 4 arms. What you know about them as a character is that they can be peaceful and reasonable. There is somewhere nearby here at least by a previous encounter. You remembered meeting an Orlan who conversed with you, and he was finding a little pure strain human girl who'd gotten lost, who'd wandered away from the town that they lived in, and he had a vehicle that was kind of similar to yours, but much more worn. And he chatted with you a bit. This does not look like that one. Actually, that may have been like, that was Bubbles. Gerg, you don't recognize this Orlan. That is not the Orlan that you met.
Okay, but I have seen one before, so.
Yes, you've seen it. Oh, yeah. I mean, you've when you were growing up in Outpost 76,
Okay.
you know, you would rarely, but they don't, as a rule, they're not hostile or militaristic.
You're not picking anything up, Gerg?
Am I picking anything up?
Yeah, with your telepathic stuff.
Any like, is he wary? Is he angry? Is he?
He's wary. He is also telepathic.
Ah, okay.
That is, he has mental powers, I should say. He's not telepathic, but you can immediately sense that he has psionic abilities.
Okay. I'll let these guys know that he's wary of us as we are of him.
I'll yell at him. I'll hail. Were you exploring Yonder ruins?
Raises two hands on his right side and waves to you and says, "Greetings. Yes. Yes.
Find anything interesting? We explored those ruins ourselves not too long ago."
Well, there are a few items and articles herein. Let's see. He has. Pardon me a second. Sorry. My PDF blurs out every time I scroll it. I can't stand it. He has a satchel and pulls out this sort of bluish silver cube. It's got a couple of nodules on top. Rex, give me a D20 roll, please.
Okay. Should have worn that suit. 3.
Yeah, Rex, these are power cells. These are atomic power cells. And he has a lot of them. Yes,
6.
I found this container. I believe that these are some kind of power unit. We have we have machines of the ancients in our village that require these items, and so it was most fortunate that I found these.
Very interesting. Would you consider trading for them?
Well, I would need something of equal value in exchange, to be honest with you, friend.
And what sort of thing might you be looking for?
Power cells of the ancients.
Okay.
Gerd checks out that case in the back of the trunk of the car. It had the radioactive symbol on it.
Yes.
Does it look like it could be something to be traded?
It's actually got a couple of these in it.
Oh.
So, yes, but
Yeah.
We got those extra rifles that have power cells in them. They're not full, but
he says he points at your vehicle with his with one of his 4 free hands and said, "Is that your chariot of the ancients?"
Say it, Gerg.
Gerg.
And I'm sorry, I misspoke. He is telepathic, Gerd.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess I will let him know that, yes, it is ours.
Okay. That is a fascinating piece of ancient technology. I don't suppose you would consider trading these atomic power cells for your vehicle, would you?
Not at this time.
Right.
We have need of it. We're in the process of utilizing it at this point.
I understand. Well,
But we could offer you relative safety at our new village.
We have food there.
oh, I appreciate it, but our settlement is many kilometers to the south, and we're comfortable there. But it's good to know you'll be neighbors. You seem to be agreeable folk. He bows slightly.
Yeah, well, we're just got rid of the Knights of Genetic Purity over in the region, so we're moving in and looking to make it home. So
He says, "Wait, you conquered the Knights of Genetic Purity?
well, we
The
just
ones who were the ones who were terrorizing this entire region?"
Yes.
Well, I mean,
we dislodged them from their base, if that's what you mean. Yes,
we turned them into mutants, sure.
that's kind of ironic, don't you think?
A most interesting tale. How fascinating. But that is truly a wonderful thing. I, as a rule, don't desire for the injury or destruction of any if it can be avoided. But if you found a way to turn the tables on them, as it were, and cause them to, how should I say, undergo a degree of genetic diversity, then, well, good for you. That is most fortuitous.
Just stop
At
by.
any rate,
What did we
please
decide
continue.
to call it? What did we decide to call our town? Placeholder name? Hole in the Rock.
New
hole.
home in the rock, something like that.
All right, feel free to send traders or emissaries to our village for trading.
Deep home, something like that.
Certainly. And where is your village?
Atlanta? To the east.
Well,
It's where
there's
old Goodberry used to be, or what it was called. Is that what it was called?
Goodwater.
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 Goodberry.
No, Goodberry is a spell from 2nd edition D&D. He seems a little puzzled by this and says, "Well, we trade with Goodwater extensively. I didn't realize there were other settlements in that locale, but
Ooh, yeah. See, here's the thing about that. We did defeat the Knights of Genetic Purity. However, not before they destroyed Goodwater.
oh no, the farm town, it's been destroyed?
Well,
That could spell, I mean, obviously the deaths of the folk from the farm is tragic unto itself, but the loss of all that food, the clean water that they provided, it's the town's namesake. What will we do? This could mean famine for the entire region.
no. We got it covered.
Didn't
got it
I
covered.
say, didn't some of the knights, the converted knights, go there to start doing the farming? Wasn't that what the plan was? Wasn't that what happened?
That is what happened, but you guys didn't clue him in on this. All you heard was that Goodwater was destroyed.
Right.
Right. So we have some new farmers. They have fabulous wings. It's going to be okay. Perhaps slight supply chain disruption, but nothing too extravagant there.
Your words are strange, but I take some comfort in them. Well, be that as it may, I'm going to continue to scavenge in the building. I wish you luck with whatever you're doing. I believe Gerg, and I didn't catch your names. You're not telepathic, and I didn't ask for mind-to-mind contact.
I'm Milo.
And Rex will shake his head with his hair blown in the wind. I am Rex Dashington. Word of warning. Don't go too deep in there. There are machinations of the ancient which are very angry.
Oh no, I've just I've remained in the upper tower portion. It seems to be a common thread in the buildings of the ancients that the deeper they are, the stranger and more dangerous they become. Rex Dashington, you say? That is your name in the ancient tongue?
Yes, I am Rex Dashington.
Very well.
I think he likes you.
Again, I must.
Maybe I must
continue. I must continue my my scavenging of the building, and I'll be here through perhaps another day. I have a small room I'm camped in the upper portion of the building. If you change your minds about trading, then please come up. I think if you enter the small room with the stairs that go upward and make 3 turns on the stairs, and then the first corridor, 4th room on your right-hand side. And he turns and goes back to the building.
And I think to him to ask him his name.
I am Karlok.
Good evening, Karlok.
And a good evening to you as well.
Easy and friendly. Guys, do we need those atomic power cells for anything?
Don't know for certain. Maybe what's powering this vehicle.
I mean, they could probably always come in handy, but he wanted cells for the rifle or for the laser guns, and we just don't have enough of those to spare. All right, let's get to towing this vehicle out of here.
Okay, who is operating the vehicle?
Probably Gerg.
To pull
Gerg,
it out.
you know how to drive, right?
He's our driver, it seems.
Gerg. Okay, Gerg, give me a D20 roll, please.
Got a 12.
Okay, you managed to not tear off the bumper, and you are slowly dragging the other vehicle away from where it's resting against the tree. The front of it is fairly bashed in. And you can even see, like when you were walking up and putting the chain on it, where Bubbles had quite literally gone ape, smashing in the
steering column.
The steering column, the front panel, and whatnot.
With his wrench.
So it may take some doing getting this thing working again. But yeah, you are slowly, eventually able to pull it out. It takes you about a half an hour, and nothing comes along to disturb you while you're doing it.
Cool. And we get it back up onto the road.
Give me one more d20 roll there, James, and don't roll low.
Is 17 good enough?
Oh yeah. You're able to just ease it back up into the parking lot now, and you think it belonged there. You know, if it wasn't for the V that is now the front of the vehicle.
Now, if I remember correctly, there was another vehicle up here that was rusted shut or something.
There were 3 vehicles. There were the one that you have that's operational, the one that you just pulled up out of the embankment, and one that is just completely gutted.
Okay, so you mean gutted, like no more power cells?
All the windows are busted out. It's the soft rubber wheels on it are completely dry rotted and flat. For whatever value of operation, it suffered the worst over the centuries.
And that box with the radiation symbol is gone?
Yes, that is gone from it.
All right. Oh, well, tough luck.
No worries.
Can we get it started back up?
Oh, the
wreck.
Not the Hulk, but the wrecked one you just pulled off
Yeah.
the tree. Well, let's do some rolls here. It is in bad shape, so there's going to be some there's going to be some penalties to it.
The D10s, or what am I rolling?
Yeah, let's just do D10s
Okay.
to start.
Got a 5 and a 1.
A 5 and a 1. Let's see. And unfortunately, you are taking some you are taking some penalties to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the steering is locked. It's not moving.
Okay. 4 and a 6.
Yeah, no.
Still not.
Don't you have that heightened brain talent?
Yeah, that's why I'm rolling 2 dice at a time.
Okay. And your intelligence, anything above a whatever, drops it by 1, 2.
Yeah. 10 and a 9.
Oh yeah, no. That just elicits an angry buzzing sound from somewhere in the dash. It didn't make that noise when before Bubbles started beating on it with a wrench.
Got an 8 and a 3 this time.
An 8
Maybe
and a
it would
3.
be. Maybe it would be happier if we turned the singing on first.
All right. You push a couple of buttons. You move a couple of levers. It seemed like they're similar to the ones in the other vehicle. The buzzing stops, and an array of lights comes on the panel. They are all universally yellow or red.
Okay. 6 and a 2.
Okay, you punch a couple of buttons and the screen clears. There's still some of the lights are showing red and yellow, but it's far fewer than before.
7 and a 4.
Nothing changes.
Ooh, a 3 and a 1.
Okay, you're not getting any further, but you see something flash up on the screen that says power cell pre-start. There's a grinding sound and then a thump from beneath the hood, but there's a steady hum now through the thing's chassis.
Okay, keep tinkering.
I've Gerg on the back. I'm like, you got it, buddy.
10 and a 5.
Ooh, maybe not.
A 10 and a 5. Okay. The thing lurches backwards, and the hum turns into kind of a nasty, buzzy, keening sound. It's not a happy noise at all.
Okay. 8 and a 3.
Okay, the buzzing has reached a higher pitch sound, and there's little pops and arcs in various spots on the control panel. Can you give me another shot?
Okay. A 9 and a 7.
Okay.
Move away from the vehicle.
Yeah. Well, Gerg, like if I just this switch with a red ring around it keeps popping out, I'll just keep pushing it back in. And there is a rather loud crack. Gerg, you smell ozone. You guys nearest to Gerg see that he is basically a puffball. All of his hair is sticking out on it and smoldering slightly. Gerg, take 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
And the vehicle, this particular chariot, it shuts itself off.
Okay. I will slowly crawl out and kind of shake my head like, what just happened?
Has anybody got a curry comb or a brush for Gerg? Anyone in the party got that in there?
Just smells like burnt hair.
Yeah, it smells like burnt raccoon hair.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're towing it. That was the plan all along, but
Okay.
it had wheels that worked still.
Yeah. All right. So
Maybe somebody back at the camp has a little bit more expertise.
That Steve seems very wise.
Okay. So towing this vehicle, because again, you've got to go, around rubble and so on and et cetera. It takes you about twice as long, so it's about 4 hours. So it's in the evening when you return to Outpost 76, and people ooh and ah over this second chariot of the ancients, and Steve kind of looks at it skeptically and rubs his old beard and says, perhaps there are artifacts of the ancients that could be used to undo the damage that has been done to this chariot. But I cannot say how long it would take. Bring it into the bay of servicing. Gestures to a large, vertically rolling door that is slowly grinding open. You guys have never seen it do this, by the way. This is a holy place.
Wow.
But it looks like your broken chariot will fit right inside.
Is it kind of like the Hall of the Ancients?
Kind of, yeah, very much.
Wow.
And Steve,
We are very fortunate.
Steve solemnly follows it as it's being pushed in, and says, I alone must perform the ancient rituals per this tome of knowledge. And he reaches over and he holds up this yellowed, paged, dog-eared, grease-covered book that's very thick. It must be at least 6 centimeters
He's a grease monkey. That's the thing that tells you how much to charge per hour.
And it's on it. You can't make out any of the finer print, but there, emblazoned in yellow letters across the faded red cover, is the word Chilton. He goes in, and the deacons lower the door. So that's Steve working on that. You're not sure how long it's going to take. You're enjoying an evening meal. Gerg, with your family who they bandage up your tiny little hands with tiny little raccoon bandages. Put little dabs of raccoon salve on it. You have your raccoon appropriate meal of discarded pizza crusts and acorns.
On a garbage can lid.
Just like old times' sake, yeah.
Oh, absolutely on a garbage can. The finest garbage can lid mom and dad have, I should point out. But eventually one of the deacons comes to you and says, Steve would like to speak with you.
Gerg?
All of you. You included, Gerg.
Guess we'll go see Steve.
All right. You get a couple of hit points back, by the way, from the bandaging that your folk did for you. So Steve is wiping his hands. There's there's an orange cloth there it's deeply, deeply stained, and he folds it carefully and lays it on the bench next to, says, intones the ancient words. Let me tell you what it's going to run you.
So you fixed it, it's done? You were able to do it?
This chariot of the ancient will work again, but there are parts that have been damaged by whatever heartless vandals destroyed such a priceless relic. He brings the clearly holy book over to you and opens it up, and there's a bookmark in it, and he points out a few strange looking things. He says, I have these items not. If we are to make this operational again, I must have these relics of the ancients to attach and put back in this chariot.
Gerg will look over the page and see what parts he has marked.
Fiendishly complex looking things.
I'll look at Rex and point at the book.
Your little bandaged mitten paws.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Fiendishly complex looking things, but you think, give me a d20 roll again, Rex. Your ancient man, slightly damaged ancient man brain is
14.
14. Okay, yeah, those are car parts.
Yeah, they can be used.
They can be
for
used
a chariot.
That can be used for a chariot. You'll have to find another one or find a source for them to help get the Charity of the Ancients moving, so you can safely evacuate those who wish to move.
You need to find another part or another book.
The parts. I cannot put the parts. These are merely drawings, strange one.
Wow.
They're only pictures. They cannot fix the vehicle.
I've not seen any more than these. I thought we were lucky enough to find 2.
He kind of shrugs his shoulders non-committally and says,
Well, we can still chain the cars together.
The ancients. That's certainly something you can do. I mean, again, regardless, they're going to have carts
Mm-hmm.
that are going to have to be pulled.
Well, I was
by
thinking now we
more
have this
vehicles.
one, and then we have does Steve's old chariot still have tires on it?
Steve's old chariot has tires on it and a seat in it, and that's about all it's got.
Okay, we could still pack it up.
It's
Though,
literally
right?
it's a metal shell, suspension, and tires.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
start a
yeah,
caravan.
these are small components. Now, I will point out that you did meet that Orlin, and the Orlin do deal in ancient technology. Just saying. I don't want to lead you guys too much.
Did we know where he lived, or was he just? We just have to wait for him to fly by.
He indicated that his settlements or what have you was some distance away south, but you're not sure exactly where.
How long did he say he was staying in that other building?
He didn't.
Oh,
But I mean, you haven't been gone that long, so
perhaps we could go and see if we can find him back there again and discuss with him about getting parts. Could we get drawings of these parts to take with us to try to match them up to whatever we can find?
yeah.
This-
There's a lender who will be more than happy to draw the parts for you.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to ask Steve if he knows anything about this Orland village, if Goodwater's ever had any dealings with them.
When Steve was very, very young, they traveled to Goodwater, and he met an Orland there, but that was a lifetime ago. You know, that was a very, very long time ago. Certainly enough time for the Orland to have established a settlement that he's never been to. So
Okay. Just we've run across two in the area lately. One looking for a human girl, and one that was scavenging. It seems like they're coming more and more into our area.
well, he holds that that's not necessarily a bad thing, that the Orland aren't, generally speaking, if treated fairly, the Orland are decent folk, just like everyone else. They revere technology, so
Should we pay them a visit?
Sure, after we get those drawings so we can see if he has any of the...
And we do have to start treating relations somehow.
Yeah.
And how long did we have left before everybody was ready?
I mean, it's gonna take a few days to get things in order.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Sounds good, guys.
Okay.
Rex is going to ask Steve something though. Steve,
Yes.
this chariot that we have found, it sings to keep us entertained as we drive. Is there any way to see if it knows more songs?
Have you tried asking it?
What? No, I have not.
Steve will take a crack at it. He'll see if he can get the radio to play something differently.
I don't know any other songs other than Sweet Home Alabama.
Ramblin' Man.
Ramblin' Man, sorry.
Rex is secretly hoping for smoke on the water.
All right. Well, it gets in, And he's able to switch the entertainment system on, but that takes him a while. The music fades out a little bit, but above it, there's one of the glass panels, and there's now a list of strange words. He reaches up to kind of stroke it lovingly, and all that disappears, and some other stuff comes up. Ramblin' Man continues to play, but now it sounds like the areas in the ancient chariot that it's emanating out of have all been covered with pillows and gotten much louder. And that just kind of continues as he kind of touches buttons and so forth. He's not having any luck getting it out of that mode until finally it stops, and then it goes back to a different screen with different words on it. And at long last, after about an hour of trying, it is now night, by the way. After about an hour of trying, he successfully figures out how to get to the menu. And there are many songs in the Ancients that you can now listen to, courtesy of Steve.
Oh, thanks.
Gerg looks for one that says free bird.
Steve, you are truly wise. Thank you.
He smiles and bows. Let's see. So you want Freebird, right?
Inagata Davida comes on.
17 minutes later. Okay, it's Gerg's lucky day because Freebird is available on the Chariot of the Ancients. It's basically you figure technology of the Ancients, nowadays you can get like a terabyte flash card. And if we're talking crappy, lossy 128K MP3s, that's like every rock song, every pop song, every rap song ever recorded, right? So yeah, pretty much if you find something interesting, you can follow Steve's lead there and get your Chariot of the Ancients to play that music.
Okay, then I think we should turn in for the night and head out at first light.
Sounds good.
Otherwise we'd have to figure out how to turn on the lights. I don't know. That'd be a 5-hour thing later.
Yeah. Guys, I figured out the lights. Yeah, the sun's up.
I think Rex is going to sleep in the back seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gerg's going to his house.
I don't think Milo has a house since it was the last character that lived here. I guess I'll just pull up a spot on the floor in the garage of the Ancients.
Oh yeah, no, that's a holy place. You're not
No.
sleeping in there.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right.
Oh, all right.
Underneath the card is
Underneath the car, yeah. All right. Well, as you contemplate your plans and settle in for the evening, and that's just basically all you're doing, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing. clean the guns. I don't know.
All right. Okay, part of the way through the night, there are yells of surprise and fear from outside of wherever you guys are.
Rush to the wall. Is this a walled village?
Yeah, oh yeah, it absolutely is.
Okay.
There are men standing and fighting. You recognize these immediately because you fought them before. These are blights, 3 meter long carnivorous winged worms with a wingspan of 10 meters. Some of them are there's a couple of them. One of them is constricting a guard and he's yelling while another guard is hacking at the thing. And as he does that, there's this bright flash. You all realize that, you've all kind of got to turn away from these things. And then there are cries of pain and surprise. So there are blights attacking the village. They are close enough to reach in a melee round. So we'll start with, what is Gerg doing?
Gerg's going to get his rifle out and take a shot.
Okay. How about Rex?
He will do the same.
And Milo?
I will also use my laser rifle.
Okay. James, roll initiative, please.
5.
Okay, you guys go first. There are currently 2 visible. So take your shots.
17.
That's going to hit.
$18.
Okay, yeah, you blast it. Now there's one. Actually, both of them have started to coil and crush a couple of guards. So, yeah, it's turns its eyeless maw towards you and opens its radial mouth and kind of as it's crushing this town guardman to death. Next up, Rex.
All right. 9.
9. What class weapon are you? Their laser rifle is
laser rifle.
13. So yeah,
okay.
It's a class 13 weapon. By the way, fair warning to our viewers, I'm just going to go ahead and buy that GM screen. I'll print it out. I'll figure something out, but this is getting nuts. Okay, so let's see. Target server class. Oh yeah, you pot in. Go ahead. Roll your demo.
All right. $25.
Wow, yeah, you must have hit it in one of its multiple hearts because it's screeching and thrashing. It's bashing this poor guy around quite a bit, but it did not like that. There's a lot of its sticky black blood is dripping out. Now, Milo.
Great shot. 7. Probably missed.
7. That will actually hit.
Oh,
are
wow.
you shooting the one that Gerg shot or the one that Rex shot?
Either or, it doesn't matter. One of the damaged ones. I guess the one that Gerg shot. 9, 10, 12, 14, 19.
Wow. How much did Gerg do? James?
18, I believe.
So, yeah, that's right. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So that one's not looking good. You guys have burned long streaks of char into it and blown a couple of chunks of it away, and it hates that. It pretty much hates that. You're facing away from it, but you can tell just kind of like there's a bright flash of light behind you and more yells of fear and pain from that direction. But now it's these two turn. Let's see. So the severely damaged one actually continues to crush the villager, although it's not doing a very effective job. And the other one is going to use its flash attack in y'all's general direction.
Uh-oh.
Why does the word blight show up so many times in a post-apocalypse adventure? Gosh darn it. All right, here we go.
Page 23.
Thank you. Page 2. Okay, so yeah, it's going to flash. Gerg, you are blinded for 4 melee rounds.
Go on.
Rex, you are blinded for 2. And Milo, you are blinded for 1. These things uncoil. Well, you don't know what they do. In the next round, what are you guys trying to do?
Shoot again, I guess. Best I can.
Rub the
All right.
stars from my eyes.
Okay. And how about Rex?
I think Rex is going to try to duck behind something near him until his vision clears.
Okay. Then roll initiative for the party, please. I think you guys should do well.
3.
That is sufficient. So, Gerg, you can take your shot. Rex, you think you remember it's a barrel or some crates or something off to your left if you want to try and stagger over there. Milo, you're just kind of furiously rubbing your eyes. At the end of this round, Milo, you at least will be able to see.
So I rolled a 16, and I'm assuming I'm at -4?
Yes, you're -4. So you've generally got its direction, and that will hit. So roll it.
Mm. 20.
Okay, you hear a horrible screech and the sound of something heavy hitting the ground.
Excellent.
Okay. So the other one then flies towards Milo. You're just kind of standing there, making a great target. So you feel this horrible pain, like across your chest, as something massive impacts you, and teeth crunch into your flesh and bones, and you take 11 points from a bite. But you can see now.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you're like, There's this giant worm is getting ready to coil itself around you. There's still shouts and sounds of combat and so on and etc. So roll initiative, please. Well, what is Gerg doing? Now, Gerg, you have no idea where this other thing is.
Yeah. This time I think I'm going to just back off and prepare to do anything like life leech if anything gets a hold of me.
Okay.
You
go
said that it was constricting me?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's like trying to coil around you. But we'll see. Rex Dashington, you still got a round of blindness. Gerg, You still got a couple of rounds of blindness.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Mobius, go ahead and roll initiative, please.
Okay. 3.
Okay. It quickly pounces on you and wraps its coils around you. And it has got you. And it crushes you for 12 and 21 points of damage.
Ooh.
Rex, your vision is slowly beginning to come back. Milo, you can try and get a shot on it.
I was going to try. I have the gas generation musk.
Okay.
That's the mutant ability, and it's paralysis gas, so I'd like to use that on him instead.
Okay, what's the radius?
It's 10 meters. That's the only problem.
Yeah, that's going to get Gerg, and that's going to get Rex, and that's going to get the two guards who are slowly picking themselves up off the ground.
If that's the case, then, and I know that, I'd just probably take the shot with the laser rifle.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're immune to it, and it may paralyze it and save everyone, but that's... You decide.
Yeah, I'll take the shot at it.
All right, good.
That is a 18.
Yeah, you shove your gun into its gaping maw and pull the trigger.
10, 18, 21.
21, and you had done considerable damage to it before. So, yeah, that destroys whatever, grapefruit-sized bundle of ganglia that keep this thing going, and it flops over backwards on the ground.
How many more can I see flying around?
None. It sounds like they were kind of like around the corner and behind you there in the outpost. Rex, you can see now. Gerg, you've still got a round of blindness.
All right. So do I see anything else that I can aim at, or?
Not here. No, you guys will have to go again. People are yelling, and there's another flash just before you decide what to do, and cries of pain and fear.
So Rex will yell, "Come on, guys!" and he will go towards, I guess, where the flash was. And if he's able to shoot at something this turn, he will, but otherwise he'll just make his way, trying to stay behind as much cover as he can.
Okay. Well, it's other side of the parking lot, basically. If you picture like a full-size service garage, like a Pep Boys, but with a gas station attached, and you run over to the other side, that will effectively take a round. So, Gerg, you can see again. So now you guys are over there. They're in the limply wrapped up in the coils of the of one of the blights is a tribeswoman, and this thing is flying away with her, and the other one is still crushing someone else. So let's roll initiative. Well, let's get decorations. What is Gerg doing?
Taking a shot at the one trying to fly away.
All right. How about Rex?
He will take a shot at the one that's trying to get the other guy.
Milo?
Shot at the flying guy.
All right. James, roll initiative, please.
3.
All right. Party goes first. Roll a 2. This die is failing me.
Rolled a 6.
Rolled a 6. Let's see. That's actually... I mean... It's easy to hit and do damage in this game. It seems like there's a lot of hit points and there's a lot of damage thrown out, but it kind of balances. So you may well have still connected. Let's see. 13, 9, Nope, that's going to miss. Rex, blast away.
18.
That will hit. And these things already have like some axe wounds and stab wounds in them. So
20.
wow. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot less lively than it was before. Milo.
Ooh, yeah, that's a miss. Natty one.
Oh gosh. Yeah. It's you. Dry cell. Crap. So yeah, this thing is has flown like 100 meters, and it is flying out towards the there's screams of terror. The man, well, no, he's still being coiled up. He doesn't know what's happening. Next round, what is Gerg doing? Oh, wait, no. The one flying is still flying away. The one on the ground, let's see. It will flash. Oof. All right, everybody, you are flashed for 3 rounds. Yeah. So what are you going to do?
Is the one flying away? Is it definitely out of the range for our rifles?
I mean,
says its max range is 600 meters. Effective range is 100 meters.
I couldn't find it. I was trying to look it up a minute ago.
Yeah, you can take a shot. You can take a shot, but it's going to be.
Don't hit Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
pretty lady in loincloth.
Rex will take a shot at that other one.
Okay. I'm going to invoke the D&D missile fire into melee rule here when we're talking about Rex being blind. So take your shot, but just understand.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
3.
Ooh.
Well, you didn't hit anything. You hear a hiss and a pop, and you're not sure if you hit it, but you're pretty sure you didn't. How about Gerg?
I got a 14.
You shooting at the one on the ground?
No, the one flying away. And that was -4 makes it a 10. So
-4 makes it a 10. Let's see. I'm gonna seriously. Let's see. So no, that doesn't hit.
Okay.
Milo?
I already shot. I'm trying to save Barbara.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
bye, Barbara.
All right. The one on the ground will. Oh, well, no, it doesn't have to flash again. You hear a sickening crunch followed by a scream of pain. And the thrashing stops and you hear a beating of wings. They got Todd. All right. Third round, last round. You guys are blind. James, what's Gerg doing? It's 200 meters away.
How far away is the one that I just heard crunching the Todd?
Oh, it's right. It's right. Yeah, it's like a few meters away.
Okay, and how far away am I from the other guys? Are we like standing side by side, or?
Yeah, you guys kind of went around the corner in a group.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of life leech, but I don't want to do that to the guys.
Yeah.
If it's right there, I guess I'll take a shot.
All right.
You're doing initiative or?
Yeah. Sorry. How about Rex?
What the heck? He'll take a shot.
Okay. And Milo.
Yeah, I'll take the last shot with this rifle.
All right. Let's roll initiative. Oh no, wait. It bit. So yeah, you guys go ahead and do your things. I know what it's going to do already, so
Got a
do
total
it.
of 9.
That will hit.
Oh,
3 again.
That'll miss.
I got a 16 minus the 4, so
ooh.
Okay. Neither one of you managed to vaporize Todd, so go ahead and roll your damage.
28 total.
ooh, 13.
Yeah, this thing just erupts in just colloidal steam. Just he staggers. Your side is coming back. His side is coming back. He's looking around. He sees 300 meters away now the other one, and screams, "No! No!" and grabs a spear and starts running towards the wall.
Can we take parting shots?
Yeah, you all absolutely can. This thing is also about 300 meters up.
Oh,
Or no, not that. I'm sorry. It's like 30 meters up.
still
Even if you get him, she's still dead.
possibly, but it's the principle of the thing at this point. 15.
That will hit.
$26.
Okay, next shot.
I think Rex is going to hold off until his sight comes back.
Yeah,
Okay.
my laser rifle's emptied. I'd have to reload anyways. I'm just reloading, putting another power cell in it.
Okay. So your 26, actually, with the damage the villagers had done to it. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't drop her. It still holds on to her, but it does kind of fall in a heap. And this guy is leaping over the wall and heading that way. And some villagers are going after him. Not going after him, but they're
Following him.
They're following him. So what are you guys doing?
Gerg will follow as well, as fast as he can go.
Just jump in the car or in the vehicle and follow.
All right.
Yeah, as soon as his vision clears, Rex is going to go after him too. See if there's any more.
Okay. All right. It's clear she is critically injured when you find the thing. There are no more. But yeah, she has broken limbs. She's bleeding from her mouth and her nose, shallow breathing.
Did we bring that robot with us?
The medical android? No, he's back at the base.
I've got what if I give her one of my meta packs?
You've learned how to use it. You can attach it to her.
All right, I'll apply one of the meta packs. Sure.
Okay, this thing works like you have not seen the functions. It's actually kind of creepy. It's auto injecting her places and wrapping her up in bandages. It's like a little tiny robot unto itself. And you don't know what the wavy and the jagged lines mean, but they're all kind of going crazy the minute you attach it and start doing its thing. And it is a good 10 minutes before they seem to calm down. The look of just absolute agony on her face slackens. Her eyes flutter shut. She's breathing deeply, but she appears to... Seems like she's going to make it. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of those medi kits. I mean, they basically heal you straight up. Thank Jim Ward for that one there, NPC.
Well, I thank the ancients, and I tell Todd that I bestow her into his capable hands, and back to the village.
Yeah.
She fell 30 meters, guys. Let's flop her back and neck around as much as we can.
Well, they could bring her back in the car. I mean, they came out in the
No,
vehicle.
I mean, it's fine. The let's see. This is the Medi kit. Yeah, I mean, basically, like, you know, it's injecting antibiotics and stuff in her, and there's a little voice that you've learned how to heed that tells you like to straighten her limbs. Do you know about setting broken bones? I mean, but it's like giving you instructions on how to do that optimally, and people gather sticks and everything and splint up her injuries and all that. And she is really, it's just Gerg that knows this. Rex and Milo are not native to this village. She has a couple of very minor mutations, so the medikit's able to work within that. So that takes one entire treatment to get her stable.
Cool. Well, I had two of them, so
okay.
Give her. I guess I'd also like to go find Steve and give him one of the empty. So I had the 2 laser rifles, so I'll give him one and tell him I don't have any more energy packs for it, but I guess I'll donate that to the defense of the village if he has some.
Okay. One of the headmen of the village, who's not Steve, says, you know, this weapon of the ancients, we will value it long, stranger, and thank you. By giving this to us, you have proven that you are truly worthy to be a member of Outpost 76. Outpost 76 is not a place, but it is a place inside. I do not have the words, but you are a member of our tribe now. You have saved Todd and you have saved Barbara. Thank you. Thank you. So
don't mention.
You saved the day. You fought off some.
You're making me blush.
Yeah. As it turns out, that's just minor radiation burns from their flash attacks.
From the other vehicle that's broken and pissing radiation out the front.
Yeah, exactly. Why am I tasting slight metallic sensation on my tongue? The rest of the night passes uneventfully. Barbara she's in not a little bit of pain, but she's alive and her injured limbs will heal. There are some other folks that took that took some damage, but no deaths, incredibly. And the corpses in the camp of the blights are destroyed. They're burned, basically in a big burn pit outside the outpost.
So what time is it now? Would you say?
Now it's morning. It's sunrise. It's a little after sunrise.
Well,
are the drawings of the parts we need ready?
Yes, they are. Steve did those before he turned in for the night.
Okay. Shall we head back to the other building and see if we can find that Orland?
He told us he'd be up on the 3rd floor and the 4th door to the left, or is that the right?
The right.
Yes.
Or do
All
we
right,
just
so-
try to head straight for his village, which is to the south?
I don't know if he would have got all the way down there overnight, would he? I mean, we could start there and work our way back south, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
Orlin are really, they're as tall as a very tall human. At least I think that's the case. Was it 1.8 or 2.4?
2.4, I think.
Oh yeah, they're like 9-10 feet tall. They've got a pretty good stride to them, but you don't think. I mean, he said many kilometers away, so you don't suspect, unless he had a vehicle of his own that he wasn't telling you about, or a riding animal, which you didn't really search around the overgrown surroundings near the building to know whether or not he's got a riding animal. So,
And those trees in the back where Gerg and Bubbles were.
Feasting on the leaves.
right.
The building, the genetics building.
Alrighty. So, let's see. Oh, good. Let's try that again. Having a little bit of problems with the PDF. My apologies to the audience and to our players. There we go. That's better. All right. So, you don't encounter anything on your drive back. Gerg, you do notice that there's a spot on the viewing screen in front of you that has been steady green to this point that has now gone to yellow. Just want to point that out.
And he determined what it means?
Yes, you figured out the operation of this. This thing will require repowering soon. Not soon, but it has less power now than when it started.
Damn Teslas.
I have to have you guys find like a cryonic chamber with Elon Musk inside.
Does Gerg know where the power source is on this thing? I mean, has he explored the engine? And
yeah, I mean, you've learned how to operate it. There's just a little, a couple of atomic power cells just pull out, and you pop another couple in, and it'll go for how many ever hundreds of kilometers onward after that.
So would those that are in the trunk work in this car?
Yeah, you presume that's what they're for.
Oh, okay. So we need to hang on to those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you drive into the sunrise on your way back to the genetics building to seek the Orlin to find out what is going on.
It's like our home away from home.
It truly is. It truly is. So
Rex is going to check out some new music while we're on our way.
There's whatever you want to listen to. Music of the ancients. They must have had some fantastical instruments. And the titles are kind of deceptive too.
100 bottles of beer on the wall.
Falderie, Faldera, Falderie.
I imagine
Something
Baby
about a fellow
Shark
named
pops up
John
at one
Jacob
time.
Jingle.
Baby Shark.
Yeah. You guys tuck and roll out of the vehicle and shoot it till it explodes if that happens. You have my permission as game master. All right. Let me see here. Oh, Lord.
that wasn't a wandering monster rule.
No, not at all. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I'd accidentally closed the StreamYard session. We would have lost all of our viewers right then. All right. Well, it is the top of the hour, so I think we're going to go ahead and break there.
That'll
You
work.
guys arriving
All right.
at the Genetic Engineering Building. Thank you very much to our audience and all your fun and participation tonight, listening to me ramble on about stuff. Thank you, of course, to our players for another fun session of Gamma World. I will see you guys next Friday night, unless you want to sit in on the audience and listen to me blab. And I will see everyone else in general on Monday. Sound good?
Awesome.
Sounds good. Thanks again, everybody. Have an absolutely stellar weekend. And hey, don't forget, sign up for the con. If you're going to run a game, now is the time to do it. Strike hard, strike fast. No mercy. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.